Is your Sea-Doo steering giving you issues like squeaking, or it's got a little bit of extra play in there? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what these are for. You're going to need to maintenance these in order to fix that issue on your Sea-Doo. Now, as always, stay tuned. I've got you covered. Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Oceanside guy. My name is Derek, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to take care of your Sea-Doo steering column, especially if it's giving you some squeaky issues and it's got a little bit of play in there. I'm going to show you how to service that in this video, so stay tuned. So if you have that ST3 hull, this should be a pretty universal job to do. All right, everyone, let's get to it. This is a very easy service job to do on your Sea-Doo, so let's get to the tool list, and you don't need a lot. Here we go. All right, everybody, and in today's video, my good friend PJ is going to help us with this service. So here we go. Let's get to the tool list. You ready, PJ?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, guys, as Derek said, we're going to keep this really simple. We're going to show you the tool list right now. You only need a few things. We're going to have, our triple guard grease. You can see we have a pry tool, a little flathead, we have tie straps, we have 10mm socket, a T30 bit, and some wire cutters, and of course some rags to keep clean.
So let's get to step number one. This is a very easy service job to do, so let's get started.
All right, so first things first is we're going to start with our two T30 bolts right here that's holding this cover. We're going to get that off. All right, so pulling this off, all you're gonna do is lift and kind of take these tips off on the back. All right, so now that we have this hood cover off right now, we're gonna go on and move to the next step. All right, so our column cover actually has 4 points that we actually have to pop out. The first 2 are on this front portion, and then there's back 2 that we're going to get to. So we're going to start with the first 2 and we'll show you how to do this. So at a neutral position, we're actually going to shift the steering to the right. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up a little slit inside of this piece. And if you can see it right there, I'll go ahead and point to it with the flathead. We're actually going to move our flathead inside of here to pop this open. You can see it kind of lifts up a little bit. Sometimes you're going to need a pry tool to get in here and just lift it up. You're not going to want to push on this too hard yet because we're going to get the other side done first. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move the steering to the left now to get to the other part. So as you can see right inside of here, there is this little notch. We're going to go ahead and push that up. Again, sometimes you're going to need this pry tool to get this up. Again, we're just loosening this up. So you can see those both popped up on both sides, and now we're going to move to the back. All right, so we actually have a flashlight that's beaming in here so you can actually see clear. We're going to go ahead and pop this inside trim clip. So it's just right here. So it actually has to go back and out. So you can see that happening. You're going to see that it pops back in. So you're going to want to kind of push on this to release it out. And then we're going to move to the other side where the other clip is, and it might be hard to see because my hand in the light, but basically we're pushing back here, and same thing is that we have to get that out and over, so that lifts this whole top assembly piece out. And basically all you're going to do is just flip this over. As you can see, we actually flipped our display assembly up and over. You're not going to want to pull on this because we have the electrical harness that's plugged right here, so we can just leave this. You can see it actually just sets down nice and easy right here. It's out of the way, and so we can actually focus on doing this job. All right, so first thing that you're going to notice is there is a zip tie on this wiring harness right here, and we're actually going to want to take that off to loosen this whole thing. You do not need to take this one off that's secured onto the ski itself. We just need that other one to loosen this cable up. All right, and the reason that we're taking that zip tie off and loosening this wiring harness, because when we actually pitch this whole column forward and out, we're going to need that loose so we're not actually pulling on it and harming any of these cables. All right, so next step is we're actually going to be taking this collar off. There's two 10mm bolts that we're gonna need to get off, which is why we need our 10mm socket. So we're gonna go ahead and take these 2 bolts out and then take this front collar off. As you can see, there's some old dry grease on there. Again, we're gonna get that all cleaned up, but let's go ahead and set that to the side. Okay, so now that you see that we got that collar, that front collar piece off, we're gonna go ahead and lift the steering column out. All right, a quick pro tip is make sure that your storage hood is actually locked in so it doesn't move up and around while you're actually trying to pull the steering column out. Now we're gonna just go ahead and pull from the bottom here and lift up towards you. You don't have to go super crazy. All we're just gonna do is just kind of wiggle this out, and you can see how easy that was, and just pull back. All right, so real quick, before we actually set this down or anything, we're gonna wanna make sure that we have this wiring harness, that we're gonna wanna pull this back a little bit to straighten that out. That way we can pull this guy out to here. And then again, you could take another rag, set it right here, and set your steering column down. All right, and just another tip, when you're pulling out the steering column, it's okay to pull it out as long as there's no tension on the electrical harness. So as long as this is loose, then it's okay to pull back. All right, so we have 2 wear rings. We have the lower wear ring, and we actually have the upper wear ring right here. We're gonna go ahead and take the lower wear ring out first. In order to get this bottom wear ring out, we're gonna actually, you can get a flathead and just pull a little bit and just lift this out. What you're gonna see is these are a split design. What that means is there's a little slit in there to split and come out. So as you see, I actually set this steering column a little bit back up and in. The reason being is so we can get out this top wear ring out. Same with the lower, this is a split design. So all you do is have to kind of pull out and around, and you can see that it's split right there.
Okay guys, we're gonna give you a few cool tips on these wear rings and what they look like when you pull them out. So they are pretty worn, and let us show you a little bit detail on what they look like and why this is very important that you service these 2 wear rings right here.
All right, so first things first, what you can see in this upper wear ring is, one, our grease is starting to dry out. That can start to create plastic on plastic friction. The other thing too is you're gonna start seeing this plastic friction across the backside here. And the reason that you're gonna have more wear on the underneath, the backside of this, our weight is coming down. And so when we're shifting left and right on our ski, it's actually wearing down that lower portion. And so this thing sits in there and wears across. So you can see there's wear right on the inside here and wear around the backside here. On the inside of this column, you're gonna notice some wear inside of here. Now, Derek's is a little bit less than mine was, but there is still some ridges in there from the wear. And this has to do with the plastic on plastic friction. So when we're actually turning left and right, you can see that you're gonna get these scrape marks along here. So it's important to replace this and re-grease it up.
And anytime you are servicing your Sea-Doo, we always want to go in there and make sure we do some cleanup. So let's go ahead and do that next.
We want to make sure that we get all the excess grease, old grease off, and just clean up around. You're going to also see some salt deposits around there, so you're going to want to just go ahead and clean that up. So we're going to go ahead and clean this upper section, the lower section, the inside of this upper column here, and actually down below here.
Okay guys, so take some time and just get some rags, some shop rags, whatever, and just clean out all that grease in there like we're doing here. Take some time to do that, get things super cleaned up, and we will show you the next step.
So after we clean some of this up, so we're gonna actually pull the lower portion of this collar out just to get this cleaned up, because there is gonna be some dry grease on there and on the inside here. We're gonna wanna go ahead and take care of that.
So you see that buildup of grease right in there? We're gonna clean that out as well. All right, guys, so now that everything is cleaned out, we're ready to reinstall the new wear rings. So let's go ahead and do that next. Here we go.
All right, new grease. This is a triple guard grease by BRP. We're gonna go ahead and use that. First things first is we're gonna take this collar right here and we're gonna put some triple guard grease on the bottom here, because we're basically gonna put grease. We're basically gonna put grease where there's any kind of plastic on plastic friction. So go ahead and put a healthy coating on there. And then we're gonna set this back in. You're gonna wanna make sure that you lift this electrical cable out of the way, place that back in there, and you can see it just sits right back in there, right nice and neat. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add grease right on the inside of here and on the outside, just a little bit, just to make sure that we're covering any potential plastic on plastic friction. Now the lower wear ring we're gonna start with. So what we're gonna do is on this one, we're just gonna do some of this triple guard grease on the inside. Again, you're just gonna get a healthy coat on it. I'll be able to turn this right here so you can see what I'm talking about. Once I get this in there. Again, you could be kind of generous with this. You don't want to go too crazy because you don't want this leaking all over the place, but a healthy amount is good. So, all right, now that we're going to put this lower wear ring in, again, because of this split design, we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to get it around the electrical cable, and we're going to seat this down right in there like that. All right, after we got that taken care of, we're gonna go ahead and add some of this triple guard grease around the lower portion of this column. Again, just a healthy amount. It doesn't need to go crazy, but we wanna make sure that this is covered. This upper wear ring we're actually gonna do on the outside and the inside. All right, now that we grease the inside and the outside of this upper wear ring, the other thing that you're gonna do is grease the inside of where the upper wear ring sits. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that right now. Again, a healthy amount would be good. All right, now that we have all these elements greased up, just like the lower one, this is again a split design, so you're not gonna break it if you open it up. Of course, you're not just gonna go crazy, but this thing is going to go around here and make sure that the split is going to be dead centered on the back side. And you can see that it kind of fits into a spot to where on the sides here there's going to be some notches, and that means that this thing is not going to slip and move around. If it's not on properly, it's going to move around. So just make sure that when you set that thing on there, it's locked in. Next step, we're actually going to assemble this back in. So first things first is we're going to actually want to guide this electrical harness through, that we're not just forcing it right here. So go ahead and you're going to want to reach on this back side of here and make sure that that is coming out nice and smooth. Again, we're presenting this down and coming in here. You're going to want to line the lower portion up and the upper portion to where it's gonna slip on in. So again, sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, but just kind of ease it in. You don't need a force. And what you're gonna notice is it's just gonna set right there.
All right, guys, so we're just about done. We have to go ahead and zip tie those cables back up and then put our bolts back in for that collar, and we are just about done. So here we go. All right, guys, we've got that zip tie going back around the steering cable. Make sure that's safe and secure. And then we can also give a trim right off of that too. Make it nice and neat. And there we go. Next, let's get that collar back in and the bolts.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and assemble this top collar back on. So we're just gonna set that back on and then set these bolts back in there. So I'm just gonna hand kind of tighten them till they get a little snug. And then because this is basically metal bolts on plastic, we're just going to want to make sure that these things are snug in there. We don't need to crank down super hard. Once you feel it stop, just give it a little love, a little extra, and that's pretty much it. Just make sure that those are on there and it's good to go. You can always test to make sure that it is turning. All right, with our handlebars at a neutral position, we're going to go ahead and get this display assembly back in. A couple things to note is our tabs that go in here. So again, we have 4 tabs, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and we actually have right in the center here, we're going to be actually seating, I should say, this piece in between this part that lifts up right here. Again, that's the dead center portion of the steering column that we're going to be setting this display assembly on. So make sure that that thing is going dead center. Just to show you guys real quick where these side back tabs are going into, they're actually on the side right here. You're going to see a hole marked out, but they're actually going from the outside in, that they clip in. On the other side too, you'll see this one right here. So again, these tabs are going to be going from the outside and working their way into here, just so you know where to place them. All right, we're going to take our display assembly. We're flipping this up and over. Make sure that we're going to go dead center here. What I'm going to do is actually get these top ones to kind of fit in a little bit first, just to make sure that I'm getting squared up. You can see those click in there. And then I'm going to show you on the other side here, the tabs. So as you can see right here, our tabs are just kind of hanging out at the top of these, and they actually need to go out and in. And on the other side too, you can see it's just kind of hanging out on top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and push this whole side over and drop it in. It's going to be kind of hard to see on camera. I'm going to see if we can light this up and get this tab around. You can see it locked in there like that. Now it's inside. Now we're going to go ahead and do the next side. All right, so again, I'm going to push this out and down so I can lock that in. And you can see that locks in. Derek's actually locked in a lot better than mine did. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, but those things locked right in and you're good to go. You can see this thing's not going anywhere.
Okay guys, so with that said, we have our final part to reinstall.
All right, so we have our hood that we're going to be putting back on, and then we're going to be placing our super rack mount on as well, so to lock this thing in. So you can see the tabs are going to fit in on the back side first. It's going to float down. Go ahead and line it up with those. You can see that it kind of locks into place. We're going to go ahead and set our super rack in. If you don't have this, basically your bolts are just going right in. But if you do have this really cool mount for GoPro, Insta360, DJI, whatever, these are super cool. They're sturdy, they'll last a long time, but we're going to go ahead and lock this in here. So you can see I'm just going to hand do this right now just to get this placed in and go ahead and screw it in. Now that's locked in there, we are good to go.
All right, so this steering column feels a lot smoother, a lot tighter. It definitely doesn't have as much play as it did before, and it feels really good. All right, guys, I gotta give this guy a quick shout out. PJ, thank you so much for helping out, buddy.
Problem.
All right, guys, that is it for this video. If you use this to maintenance your ski and take care of your steering column, you gotta let me know. You also have to let me know where you are watching from here in the United States. And if you're watching from another country, let me know where you're watching from. I find it super interesting to find out where everybody's tuning in from. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And as always, don't forget the most important thing. Make today your best day, because tomorrow isn't promised. Until next time, I will see you on the water.